Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 1 of a new story, that being, what if Tarn and the DJD were in TF Prime? Now, anyways, let's get started. We start our story at part 5 of Darkness Rising, at the moment when Megatron throws the Dark Energon at Cybertron, with everything on him and Prime's side seeming like normal. However, we see something happen on the other side, as when the Dark Energon hits the planet and rises the dead from it, we see something, a blue feral beast former, scavenging around, who after seeing the undead runs away, and runs all the way to Kaon. When this creature arrives, it enters the main throne room, where 6 other bots are standing around. The beast runs up to one of them, who is known as Kaon, and this beast speaks in its savage growls, to which Kaon is able to understand, to which he then walks over to the bot sitting on the throne. Kaon then explains what the pet has told him, and asks what they should do, to which this Khan sitting on the throne is silent for a minute, before standing up, and Tarn says to get their ship, for they are to head wherever this undead army is heading. The other 6 members, Tesserus, Helix, Voss, Kaon, Nickel, and the pet stand at attention. Then they all head into their ship, and so they take off, heading to where the space bridge portal is, following the undead. Voss scans it to see what could be on the other side, and he is shocked as he detects Megatron's life signal on the other side, to which Tarn immediately tells him to send the ship through. But as they are about to enter, Voss detects the portal is overloading with energy. As we see on the other side, RC and the Autobots, just like a cannon, are overloading it, causing it to begin to break down. Voss says that they should get away before they are caught in the explosion. However, it is too late, as the portal would explode, with them about to enter it. We then see for a split moment when Megatron tries to reach his hand out to the undead. For a blip second, he sees the DJD ship, and him and Tarn lock optics, and then the explosion happens. While everything seems to be the same as canon on the other side, as many episodes would pass, however, one episode would be changed. Predatory, as we see somewhere else in space some time ago, at Saturn's orbit. A chunk of the undead army was sent there when the explosion happened, as it is very possible that some of the chunks could have been sent across the universe during the explosion. However, among the offline dead, we see something else floating among them. The DJD ship. However, the explosion caused all the members to go into stasis lock. However, then the scanners pick up something, a foreign ship, and we see this ship is Arachnid's, to which she enters the ship cautiously. As she looks around and doesn't see anything, she assumes the ship is abandoned and all the dead outside are the result of a battle that must have happened here some time ago. So she goes to the control module and activates the systems to see what she can find. However, this ultimately causes the ship to reactivate fully, including the ship's AI control system, which upon detecting the crew offline, it reactivates them from stasis. To which upon reawakening, the team assesses the situation, with Helix seeing Arachnid on one of the monitors. To which, after seeing this and telling Tarn and the others, Tarn says, "Let's go hunt." Arachnid sees that there isn't much of any useful information on the ship, as it appears that the ship has been on Cybertron for quite some time. But before she leaves, something brushes by. Then the entrance is suddenly blocked, as Tesserus is revealed to be blocking it. She then realizes whose ship this is, but it's too late, as she is shot in the leg by Voss with his rifle. She tries to use her webs, but Helix shoots some of his acid from his boiler, melting the webs, also melting her arms, causing her to be unable to shoot more webs out. Then Nickel comes out and uses one of her saw blades to cut 2 of Arachnid's legs off. Then Kaon transforms into his electric chair, with the pet pouncing on Arachnid, knocking her right into his chair, with him strapping her in and locking her in place. Tarn steps out and says he knows very well of her, a rogue Decepticon, and he knows Megatron hates rogues, so he will personally kill her for him. Arachnid, for the first time in her life, is afraid for her life, as she says he can't kill her, as she knows something that he would want to know: the location of Megatron. Tarn pauses upon hearing that, then asks where he is, with Arachnid saying she recently picked up the Decepticon radio chatter, and that they are on a planet called Earth, along with Optimus Prime and some of his Autobots. To which Tarn thinks about it, and decides that that's where they're going, but that unfortunately Arachnid won't live to see it. He then gets close to her audio receptor and says in a whisper tone, "Because traitors die." This causes Arachnid's body to shake in violent convulsions as green electricity pulses through her body, which ends in her spark exploding, killing her. After that, Tarn says to head to that planet, for this time Megatron's assassins return to him. And with that, the episode Predatory is ultimately skipped, as with Arachnid not showing up, RC and Jack have no reason to go out there, but this does mean that their bonding episode is ultimately skipped. We would then lead to the next episode, Sick Mind, which will go the same up until the midway point, as when the Nemesis is flying around, the ship's systems are still damaged, but while the cons are going to deal with it, Soundwave picks up a signal coming from orbit. A Decepticon ship has arrived. Starscream is curious, believing this could be Decepticon loyalists finally showing up. He orders Soundwave to send a ship to them. The DJD ship and the Nemesis meet, with the bay doors opening, to which everyone sees the DJD enter the warship. Starscream is speechless and terrified by them, with Tarn then looking at him and asks, "Where is Megatron?" Starscream explains everything that's happened and how he is in charge, with him saying that last part very nervously, of course. Tarn stares at him and asks how somebody like him was placed in charge after all that happened on Cybertron, as he refers to the Shockwave incident. With Starscream explain how he is second in command, and so was made de facto leader, to which Kaon says that won't last long, as once Megatron is back, he will be leader. Tarn agrees, then orders to be taken to Megatron, to which Starscream is forced to take him there, along with the other members. Upon entering, Tarn looks to Megatron, and feeling a sense of appreciation to be in the presence of his leader, even in this critical state, he bows before him, and says that him and his team have come to serve him, and once he awakes, they will destroy anything that he wants them to. But while he does that, the pet starts to growl, with Voss seeing it looking at a cord connected to Megatron's stasis table, to which they look and they find RC and Bumblebee like in canon, with Bumblebee getting up from being in Megatron's mind. But something changes from canon, as when the two Autobots try to escape, before RC gets a chance to shoot Megatron's cord off, Tarn opens fire at them and shoots Bumblebee, killing him almost immediately, as due to Bumblebee being the bigger target, he is made Tarn's target. RC is horrified, but has no choice but to leave. After that, Tarn grabs Bumblebee's corpse and makes sure he's dead for sure by crushing his brain module. Unintentionally, this not only does kill Bumblebee's consciousness, but it also kills Megatron's as well, leading to Megatron's death by Tarn's hands, with it being poetic justice that his greatest weapon is his own downfall. At Autobot Outpost Omega 1, Optimus is still healed like in canon because Ratchet would have still gotten the schematics for the cure from Bumblebee's memory through the recording, but it is a somber tone, as everyone, especially RC and Raphael, are devastated by Bumblebee's death, with Optimus sad as well, as he feels that he let his youngest scout sacrifice himself to save him, but something else comes to his mind after the grief, as he thinks that while Megatron is still out of conscious, the DJD and Tarn pose a massive threat to them, and with them here, a newfound fear has struck in him, something that nobody would expect from Optimus. But after he gets over that, Optimus gives a speech after Bumblebee's funeral that they have to be careful, as with the DJD here, they are in terrible danger, but they will get through this for Bumblebee. Back with the cons at the Nemesis, Tarn comes in to check on Megatron's report, with Knockout saying that the Autobots didn't seem to do any physical damage to him, But Tarn then asks, then why hasn't he awakened him? With Knockout saying that while his body is alive, his brain activity is dormant. As if no one's home. And that is it for now. Thank you all for watching. When I said that this was only 3 parts long, I was actually mistaken. This will be a 4-part series, but part 1 is a bit shorter than the others, but hey, the other 3 parts will be a bit longer. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time in part 2. Have a good day.